Hello and welcome back with David Dean, and today we are doing a video on something that just confused the hell out of me when I first started the game, and that was figuring out what level I was and how leveling occurred. I just got into the game and started going at it, and just to let you know, I've already done the entire game. I have gone through it with a different character than this one and done every mission in the game. And I did at that time purchase the deluxe edition and all that stuff, so I know it from the view of having all the higher level stuff very early on, how leveling went. And now I'm redoing it using my friend code from that account and redoing the game with no money whatsoever, just going off of whatever I get in the game, kind of a bare bones approach. So I'm trying to give you my experience on leveling up from both those different views, and as someone who's already done it all the way. But when I first started, saw my hero, saw his score like here at 15 and thought that was my level. But then I would go into missions by myself and it would show this home base power level, and then other people would come in and suddenly that would increase. That increase is kind of a sidekick thing, or where it kind of levels out the power level so more people can group together, which we don't care about here. And the hero level, it's nice. Every time you level them up, you do increase all these things: health, regen, shield regen rate, hero ability damage, and your healing modifier, and you get nice perks. But that isn't your key level. Your key level is the home base power, and the home base power is made up of these: the fortitude, offense, resistance, and tech. And the way you up those, it tells you all you gotta do is put your cursor over the lightning bolt, slot survivors, and purchase skill tree nodes to increase your home base power. And this is what you want to focus on. This will make your character the most powerful it can be in the game. But you cannot slot survivors until you do the skill tree. And that was another reason I wanted to wait to do a leveling up video until I came back around from the beginning. And there are two skill trees. You get experience from both of them. But we're going to start with this one right here. And in the beginning, you're going to be getting skill points left and right. And the skill points are right up here. I got 11 of them I can use right now, on top of the 29 I had already spent. But in the beginning, you're kind of stovepipe. You just have to take everything in here until you get right here. These two, the heart and the cross swords, they give you, this one gives you +3 to fortitude. This one gives you +3 offense. You don't have to take those. I recommend you don't take them right now. You can come back and get them later, because what you're really worried about, and here's your first one, you get survivors. You open up these survivor slots, and I'll show you where those are in a bit. And as you go down, you get through this as fast as you can. And you do have to purchase things you don't even want, like this motorcycle for expeditions. But it gets you to where you need to be. And everything I am telling you about in the skill tree is all focused on getting you to this guy right here. Allows transformation of survivors. This is the critical one, and I'll explain it more as we go. But we can't get to it until we get through this one, and you can't do this one until you've unlocked 30 nodes purchased in skill tree 3. And that 30 node requirement is here, back it up, sorry, over here and here. So you're kind of locked in here. You can only do the first portion. You can't do a direct line to where you want to go. So then what you're doing, first of all, you're filling in these middle ones, getting your survivors as fast as possible. The survivor ones are square. They got a bunch of different images. Be careful there is a difference between survivors and defenders. And always make sure when you read it that it does not say defender. Like this guy you're forced to take unlocks a rifleman slot to home base storm shield. That is a defender. That is not what you want. You want that one you have to take. You want survivors. And we'll see some of the other, like right here, unlock mission defender slot in hero squad. Don't want that. You may need to take it to get to another thing, but right off the bat, we don't want defenders, and I'll have another video going over the good, bad, and ugly of defenders. But you want to unlock your survivors right away to help get that home base power up. Then you got kind of a choice. A lot of videos out there tell you immediately go up to get your next one. Survivors up here and survivor down here. I actually went right away to get my heal because I like getting in there close to the combat, and I do take a lot of damage, and I wanted my squad bonus. But you go through your skill points in the beginning so fast, or get so many of them, it's not that much of an issue, but you're definitely going to need to get this middle line done. And then right here is one of those defenders I was talking about. Do not take him. You do not need him. In order to get here, you see the lines to him. They go directly from here to here. On other ones, like the heal, the one above it and below it merge beforehand. That tells you you have to get both of these before you can get this one. This guy has a direct line, so you only need one of him. So basically, you're going to end up in your first 29 with your survivor up here, survivor, 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 survivor. Get these first 4 done as soon as possible. And then you want to make sure you got your middle done so that you can open up this one as soon as you've done 30 of them. Now I have done 29. I can unlock one more, and just to let you know, like in here, I do plan on playing Ninja later, so I opened that up. I am a constructor. I constantly love building. This node allows you to make your walls 1 tier higher, which means they're more damage resistance and have a better look to them. So I got that one right away after I got the survivors. And so I'm opened up. Now I can spend one wherever I want before that 30 limit opens up. I'm going to go ahead and just do this one, which just, whoop, wrong one. Do this one, which just gives me +3 tech, which just means my traps and ability damage, gadget damage, and healing are all going to be 1% more. Not a big deal, but it gets me that number 30. And now number 31, I can open up this one, which unlocks 2-star evolution for the survivors. So now I can level the survivors up, which is another critical thing you have to have. And then you get the transformation one. And I will be showing that in detail as we go along. And then I still have 8 more. And I'll go unlock the ability to evolve lead survivors. So once again, anything with survivor, I'm leveling it up. We have a survivor right here. So I'm going to go ahead, purchase the this just allows me to upgrade clubs and hardware, which I will probably never use, but it gets me my survivor. So once again, I'm happy. There is a survivor here, and so I will go ahead and get the party tech. I will up my pickaxe. That's huge. I forgot about that. Later in the game, you just go through like cars and other things in several hits. It's taken me like 10 hits in the beginning to take out a car. So that is a great one. I do want this ability, the drop box, but only after I get my survivors. And unfortunately, this one has 2 lines merging, so I have to take the Outlander. But that was a quest also, so yay, we got the quest done. Ooh, that actually, Pathfinder is my favorite. It's low level, but I'm actually needing more resources to build my Storm Shield defenses, so I will be going out with her soloing gathering. But back to Survivor. got another one. We got 1 point left. And on this one, I'm not seeing any more survivors left or anything that really helps survivors. So pickaxe damage would be great, but I'm going to go with the drop box for another ability. When your hero, when you're in the loading screen, you can add your gadgets, and at this point I only had one gadget. So for a lot of people, the choice is either between unlocking airstrike, and if you don't do building and you like doing major DPS, this is a great one to take. Definitely do it. I'm more focused on building, so I'm doing the drop box, which is going to give me materials. Alright, so those are the skill points there. And then the other skill tree. On this one, they have survivors in it. And that is all I care about. And to get through this to the other skill trees that also have survivors in them, I need to purchase 20 nodes to get out of this skill tree. Well, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to a survivor. So I'm going to do that 4 times. That's 16, 17 with the middle guy. So that leaves 3 extra. And I do not have enough to do that right now. But yeah, I will go through this to get all the survivors right away. I will spend 3 more. I'll probably do 1 more damage and then get more in my backpack. And I would never... Well, the last thing I would do is any of these that deal with expeditions. Don't worry about them. Don't do them right now. You don't get much out of them. Not as much as leveling up your home base, definitely. But for your second skill tree, that's how you do it, and that'll take you into this skill tree. Once again, all you care about is getting to the survivors and getting them up as fast as possible. I always, in the first 2 skill trees, I always did damage first, followed by the tech, because it does increase a lot of your damage to your gadgets and stuff. And then I did resistance, and then health, because nothing except for fall damage, nothing affects your health until it gets through your resistance. So to me, you do your resistance first. And then once again, I'll just do the minimum amount in this one to go on to the next one. And oh, I almost forgot, huge thing on this. You are going to have more skill points than you actually need when you're at the end of this, before you do your last mission. Your last mission, it says van or Astro Van. It's the rocket mission, and you only see that mission on your mission map when you get it after you finish Storm Shield Defense number 6. But by the time you get there, you most likely will have filled up all the things you really want and need, and then you'll have a bunch of extra skill points. Do not spend them on stuff you don't need just because it's better to spend them than not to spend them. Because when you open up, because when you finish this and do that rocket mission, you're going to this skill tree, and you're going to have tons of things you're going to want to unlock really fast. And so don't waste the skill points back there. Right now, I've finished the entire thing. I got, I think, about 15 skill points on my character unspent. There's a lot of things on there I could go and click on and spend them on, but there's stuff that I'm never going to use. So I'd rather just wait to see if they come out with another zone or not, and I'll spend them then. But now I've shown you all this with the opening survivor slots. We're going to the survivors here. And this looked way different when I had the deluxe edition. They were legendaries and epics I had in here. And now I'm just scraping for anything I can get to fill the slots. And you have 2 different slots. You have the leader, which will help you the most of any one in the category. And that goes by the symbol up by EMT squad. You get this little healthcare symbol. Fortunately, completing a quest today, I got this guy. And also, if you didn't notice, up here by home base power 6, before I spent my 11 skill points, I had just a sliver of experience in there. Now it's almost 3 complete bars just spending those 11 skill points. So we'll drop him in there, and I just went from 6 to 8. So that is a huge increase. And since I'm not doing any purchasing of additional V-Bucks, I almost had enough V-Bucks today to get a Super Llama. I was off by 50. I was very upset. But anyway, so now we just went from home base power of 6 up to 8 just by slotting a guy who doesn't have any experience or upgrades to him at all. But he's the right type. His personality type is this little triangle in the middle, if you can see it. So actually, now that I have a leader in here, I want to change my squad members if possible. So we look to see, and like this one is a gray one with the triangle, but because it's the same type, if it was a different type, it'd only have 1 point. But since it's the same type, it's 5 points, the same as the green one. So let's see, is that the best out there? Yes, and I got another one slotted somewhere else. And I'm going to go ahead and switch those out. It stays the same because I'm changing a 5 for a 5. But it will make a difference of freeing up those uncommon ones. Now I can use those elsewhere. And what this does is upgrade my fortitude. And I wanted to move on to this guy here. He is a leader of the wrong type. Unfortunately, the type he is not unlocked yet. He is close assault squad leader. Well, since I can't unlock this, and if you want to find out how to unlock any of them, you just click on them. And this takes me to skill tree number 2, all the way at the end of it. So it's going to be a little while before I can use that guy anywhere else. So even though he's the wrong type, I don't have the right type. So it's better to put him in than nothing at all. And then now this one opened up for me. Well, get out of that. This one has opened up for me. And there is no other leaders I have that are correctly slotted, unfortunately. So personality type isn't really mattering all that much. But in this one, you can see here with the uncommons, the one that has the personality the same is worth 8 points. The ones that don't are 5. But the higher level ones, like the rare and the epic, definitely give more points. But first I want to see if I can use those anywhere else before I slot them in there. And it's not looking like it. And you can see here, I don't even have enough leaders to fill all the leader ones yet. But we're going to go ahead and just, actually before we do that, I did today make enough gold. I got a 1,412. I don't want any of these weapons or heroes. The floor launcher I do want eventually. And if I ever got a defender, it would be the sniper, but I'm going to worry about that in another 70 or 80 levels. I'll worry about getting a defender. Once again, I'll explain that later in a defender video. But I got a survivor here. Anytime there is a legendary survivor available and you don't have all legendary survivors, grab them. So let's see what I get. So we'll go back into squads, go back here. And now he comes up. He's not, unfortunately, his personality type doesn't mesh with any of the others. But this is the Fire Team Alpha, so it's upping my offense, and that's really what I want to focus on early on. Whoops, I didn't want to take out that guy. So once again, we're now up to 10. We started barely in 6. We were just barely scratching it. And then we'll go ahead and fill in this guy. Got personality match here of 7, but this one's going to give me 15 just because she's of higher rarity. And once again, now we're up to 11. And this can go anything. Actually, I'm going to change that back around, because it would be better to place that one there, and the one that there is no team leader to match up with because I don't have any more of them. Place her over here. And with all this, I'm really not focusing all that much on whether I'm increasing the fortitude or offense. I do care about that eventually when I have enough characters to slot everything. But right now, I can't even slot everything that's open and available. But now we're at the top point of 11, so we've almost doubled. But you remember I made a big deal about that transformation thing? Transformation, and this was locked out. I couldn't even get into it until I unlocked that in skills. And everybody in the game can get this guy right here, Survivor Transformation Schematic. If you have some of the Founder editions, the more expensive ones, you will have this, but it will be epic. It will be purple, and you can use it, which is even better. And the reason this is so important, going back to our armory, schematics. If you got weapons or traps you're never going to use, you recycle them and you get the points back. Same thing with heroes, you retire them, you get the points back. Defenders, you retire them and get the points back. Survivors, never ever retire these guys. Like right here, a gray one, a common one will give me 200. But going to transformation, I wish somebody had told me this. I did not find this out until I was way, way further in the game, and it would have been great. But here, we go to our survivors, and these are all the extra ones that I did not slot or have places for. And what I can do is put them in here, and over here to your far right, it says 200 Survivor XP. So I'm getting the exact amount of XP out. It's costing me 1 people, and the people, you get those anytime you survive people in a mission. You get these little photographs of happy people celebrating you saving them, and they add up quickly, and mainly if you run the survivor missions. You get tons of these, and so it's going to cost me 1 people to transform him, another one. So if I retired these guys normal, I would get the same 1,000 Survivor XP. The difference in this is that, and actually I'm going to change it around to max it out. So we're going to get, if we do all green, we're going to get 2,000, and we're going to get a rare survival. So, and we got her. Now usually if you have a lot of these, you just keep going. When I first figured out how to do this, I had about 50 of these guys, and I just kept going and going and going. Her I'm probably going to keep because I'm so desperate for survivors, I want rares. If you did the founder packs, you're probably not too worried about a rare one. But I will take anything I can get right now, and that will get me, actually I can, will let me unslaughter? No. So we gotta go back, redo it, my bad. Make sure you don't do that because it doesn't, what you're doing is upping this to the next level. So right now it's filling up for uncommon, and we can right now do a transformation and get 1 uncommon for these 2, which really isn't helping us. So now we got it up to, common. This would be an uncommon one I can do right now. If I put a 5th one in here, it's 3 points thrown away. So just do it with 4. Get your transformation, and I get a green one. And you can just keep doing that, and again. Like when I did it before, I just had tons of greens and tons of grays, tons of blues, and I just ended up with tons of survivor experience. And I'm not going to get enough to get another blue, but we can go ahead and get another green. Get me another 800 experience. Confirm. Good to go. And now we head back to our actually go back to squads. And on this, I know eventually I'm going to be retiring everything out of this, or transforming it out of this, except for this legendary guy. This legendary guy I'm going to probably keep to the end. And one big thing, all of us who started this game in the beginning didn't know or understand how it all worked, because there was mythic lead survivors. So like this guy, this guy, there's a mythic out there. So even if I had this as legendary, I would still be leveling him up. But I also realize at some point I'm going to change him for a mythic. That is not the case with squad members. Squad members, the highest they can be is legendary. So there's no reason not to upgrade them like crazy. I would prefer it if he was teamed up with the right leader to give more of a bonus. But since I don't have that, I'm just going to level up. Right now we're just there. We're at 12. So now we doubled our level since I started this video from 6 to 12. And now I'm just going to level him up like crazy. Evolve. I need training manuals. I don't have training manuals. I could actually get training manuals, but we don't have that much Survivor XP. But as you can see, just by going through and doing this little video, how fast you can level up your power. So for your home base, and this just works great once you learn how to do it. Like most things in life, the first time you do it, it makes no sense, highly complicated, you can't understand why they came up with this whole system. Once you learn the system, oh, this is easy, I can do this in my sleep. So now you know how, in your sleep, to level up your base, to make your characters more powerful, so that you can go out there and survive more. And then if you want to make yourself even more survivable, level up your heroes, get some great weapons, learn how to build and lay out your traps. I hope this was helpful to you, and I look forward to talking to you again. Let me hear your comments. I want to hear why I was wrong or what I was right, or how I could have done it better, and I appreciate it all. Take care.